panel today. We got Mr. Crock and Ms. Mullen, and also communication. I believe we have Ms. Booth and Ms. Cole. So they're trying to get it. But each of you have a handout? I know.
Yes, we do.
All right.
The wonderful color photographs.
Thank you so much.
One of the local churches delivering a sermon out.
Yeah, so we do a lot of that, guys. Thank you.
Commissioner, this is about the 10th year you use in high school pictures.
You ain't supposed to catch that. Yeah, you're right. All right. Governor, we want to thank y'all for taking time to hear. We think that we bring a lot to the table and give corrections, and we'll jump right into our presentation. We go to page 2. That's the agenda that we like to follow, and we realize that we're on time here, so we'll jump right through it. I want to know, presenters, that if you got a question, just stop me anytime. You don't have to wait, obviously, to the end of the presentation. I'm proud to present to this forum that we finally is no longer on the Nazarene Gates versus Joint College. And that's on page 3. Ever since you can remember, and I can remember, since 71, there's been a lawsuit. And 14 other commissioners tried to get us out from our budget, but it finally happened on March 10, 2011. And that's a good thing in that, one, that we can change the agency if we deem necessary. Obviously, we follow the American Corrections Association standards, and 2 is money-wise, since this is what this committee is about, we don't pay Attorney Welch. Effective March 10, 2012, we no longer get paid through the agency. Also, Preston versus Epps. You saw all those articles in the paper about Unit 32 and all those conditions. It's gone. Both those court orders must have been dismissed with prejudice. And that's a good thing when as you don't have the federal court, ACLU, headed out your prison every week and sometimes every day. One of the reasons you all supported me when I was first appointed and allowed me to get ACA accredited. And since that time, in 08, we accredited the entire Mississippi Department of Corrections. So that helped us with these court orders. On page 4, we recently got central office wheel on President Street, as most of you know. It was the second time we got it reaccredited with a perfect score. Page 4 on the bottom, that's a pretty big bullet there. That one, recidivism rate. We are down now to about 28% over a 4-year period. The national average is 52%. We feel like we run the numbers, that's a cost avoid of $7.1 million. And I think that we can get it even lower than that. There's 2 things that, nothing else from this presentation other than the amount of money we're going to request. 2 things I just beg y'all to take away. One is inmates coming in the system, we bring in 800 a month, come in on the 6th grade reading, writing, arithmetic, language arts, and 80% of them has alcohol or drug problem or both. So we know what the problems are. So when they hit CMCL, we target the problem. Page 5, I heard the general talking about child pornography, sex crime, sexual barrier. We got thousands of those in the system, and y'all have done an outstanding job as leaders in the legislature with the legislation, because once a person gets convicted of those crimes, it's day for day they can't get any good time, regardless of what they do, and they should be able to get in. But we also enhanced public safety and correction. We did a 6-month pilot project, and we are putting 500 inmates on GPS right now, global position tracking. And we got an AFLT triangulation that backs up the satellite, and we feel like in time it's going to save us money instead of cost us money. So it was with the RF radio frequency, the guy goes out at 6 in the morning, got to be back at 6 in the evening. Now we can track him every time he takes a step. So I'm encouraging the parole board to use this, And obviously we're going to use it. By the way, we keeping about 1,700 on house arrest, and that number will continue to grow. I talked about education. Proud to present that during this last FY year, we had 3,770 to graduate from some type of program or not. A program, whether it's an adult-based education, getting a GED, vocational trade, alcohol and drugs. And these programs are validated, evidence-based practice every year. ACA makes you do that. As y'all know, I'm the president-elect of ACA. It makes us look at them, and if they don't work, we scrap them. So we are training inmates with what they can get a job with. Search jobs such as landscaping, auto mechanic, diesel mechanic, and those type of jobs. We continue to teach inmates work ethics. Many inmates come in and we ask them, what have you done? I haven't done anything. Basically, as they call it, slung dope their whole life. So we send them up to Parchment, let them pick the little okra and squash spot we got up there. We got 1,100 acre program. And then if they do well on that, they graduate up to a higher level. Some of them is in your community work center. Madam Chairman, you and I rode all over the coast during Katrina, and you remember those inmates in the work center, and we still cleaning up I-10 as I see paper out there. But I'm proud to present that they did $20.1 million of free labor to local county, state, and nonprofit. And then those inmates in the 46 jails that house the working inmates, they was able to provide $13.4 million for a total of $33.5 million. And so to me, that's giving back, to society, since we have to pay for their housing. On page 6, we'll never forget about our victims. I was the chairman of the National Victims Association 7 years ago, and it's not a week go by I don't talk to the victims. When I leave here, we got a meeting about a victim that don't want a person to get out of house arrest tomorrow. It's going to be quite interesting. As you can see, we started our victim service in 2000, and there's 5,188 that we're doing business with. And the general talked about the crime victim compensation plan. I think he forgot to mention, or failed to mention, is that we, Department of Correction, when we collected $55 from the offender that's on probation and parole, and we collected $88 on personal house arrest, that money obviously go a lot of ways, but on the one on probation and parole, $3 is deposited in that fund. This last year, we sent him $776 to help the victims out. And we'll continue to do that. It'll just get higher. On page 7, we got a program called SAVE. And that's a statewide automatic victim information system. I don't know if y'all ever been a victim, but I have. And you wonder, once you're a victim, is the person been arrested? What's the bail? Can they make bail? Will they make bail? Is there? And this system will allow you to literally get on the phone and call in and find out whatever you want to know. Or you can get on the internet if you got the web and find out. And we're in 80 counties, and I expect to get these other 2 counties soon. And this is a system now where we can track them all the way from arrest, governor, to release. I want to thank you all for your resolution on me being the longest serving. The lifespan for a commissioner on the national level is 2 years. Y'all put up with me now 10 years. So I want to thank you for your resolution and for supporting me to win the national president of the Correctional Association Corrections. And we'll be there for 6 years. We're already doing some great things. We just got Pearl River Jail accredited. We fit to sign up Rankin County where I live. We're going to do Lauderdale. We're going to do DeSoto. I plan on getting every jail in this state accredited. They can be accredited. So that's one of your county jails that we're coming your way. Governor, if you don't mind, may I continue, sir?
Please, sir.
Page 8 is our offender population as of September 1. You go on our website, www.mdoc.state.ms.us, you'll find all this information. The bottom line is on September 1, it was 21,432 convicted felons that we had paperwork on in the state of Mississippi. And today is, this morning at 8 o'clock, it was 21,327, so it hadn't gone down a whole lot. But last year, that's up from last year. We up 304 inmates, and we'll deal with that. On your probation and parole under supervision and your house arrest at 38,187, and we up 2,578. And it may sound funny, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Anybody that will tell you that's been in corrections 5 years or longer, you want your numbers in the community to be at least double and a half than what's incarcerated. So your total is 59.6. Yes, sir.
Commissioner, if I could interrupt, Senator Hughes, I think has a question.
Commissioner, on those numbers, every discussion we have regardless of what agency, we have a lot of focus on technology. You mentioned ankle monitoring bracelets. With budgets what they are, do you see us, with technology being what it is, do you see us moving more towards house arrest, use of ankle bracelets, supervised type control as opposed to straight incarceration? And if that is the case, how do you see those numbers changing?
Mr. Pro Tem, one, I see us going more towards it, and that's what I was talking earlier about. I'm trying to encourage the parole board to use it. Got the law passed several years ago when they hadn't paroled anybody to RF frequency or GPS. I don't suggest we change the laws any more than we have. The laws are pretty good. I just suggest that we just continue to support it and continue to encourage, when I go to the circuit judges conference and the DA conference, encourage them to use it. And how the numbers change, I'll tell you how I like to see them change. With the economy the way it is, all over the land, and the troubles and the difficult days that the lives ahead, I like to see the numbers change where we can put more money in education, Medicaid, mental health, bridges, roads, etc. And so in that, when I look at Arkansas, my friend over there, Ray Hobbs, he got 2.8 million citizens. He's sitting at 17,000. We got 2.9 million. I'm sitting at 21.4. So I like to see them by 17.
Well, it'd be savings because of just the sheer housing costs that are incurred, and the room and board and all that goes with having folks in jail. And I know that free up a lot of that money, but you're going to have to have additional monitoring costs and people to actually do the tracking of these folks if they're wearing those ankle bracelets. Do you think it'd be a positive to move in that direction? Yes, sir.
It'd be positive. To give you some number, you're looking at $41.74 per inmate per day in the system in the state. That's the composite cost of the inmate. If you put him on house arrest or her on house arrest, you're looking at $11.74. So you see the savings there. And you all know we let 3,000 out on parole in 08. You ain't heard no public safety or public outcry. We won't hurt public safety one bit. The bottom line is we up on these numbers on page 8, 2,882 inmates, and we came over here today not to ask you for one extra cent. We'll make it work, and you'll see why it's short. FY 2013 budget, page 10. On page 10 is the budget, and all of them self-explanatory to you all, because you all been here several years. But I always like to remind you that support number, because that 158 stands out. That's Parchman, that's Rankin, that's Green, that's your community work centers, that's your probation, parole, house arrest, that's your transition centers, that's your restitution center. All that rolls up to something called support. Way back when the legislature called that support. And I think everybody gets private, regional, local confinement, that's your county jails, and medical, and that's, as you all know, the inmates have a constitutional right to medical. And then the ag program at Parchman, parole board, at 339. Now that's everything, that's all forms. I just want to bring to your attention that in 08, when I came before you, we spent 348. So we are doing better, and we will continue to do better. On page 11, we need 79.3 for your 5 private prisons. You see them listed there, and the bottom line is, you know that they have to do it 10% cheaper than we can, and we hold them accountable. We have compliance officers at each one. They have been trained by experts, and that's what it's going to take to keep those going. On page 12, that's a breakout of a private prison. My probation chairman over on the Senate side, he's familiar with Marshall. Way back when we opened it in '97, when I was a deputy commissioner, we just had
not professionally together.
we had just a medium up there. But what happened was the price got so low until they had to do it 10% cheaper. They asked us to put a few single cell guys up there, maximum. And so that's why you see that $77, because they couldn't make the profit margin. So the bottom line is you see, I won't do all of it. You see Marshall, you see when it was open, you see the dates for the budget, you see the number of inmates, the days, you see the rate for the custody of inmates, and you see the total cost, and you see the capital cost, which is the debt service. Now, Delta and Greenwood is paid for. We, the state of Mississippi, own that prison. But as you can see, the rest of them is not. I would tell you that last year, the budget was 81.4, and the rate was 37.38. So we're coming down, and we watching them, and they doing a good job. We just got GO and CCA. That's the only two we have in the state of Mississippi, private prison with, Mississippi inmates. On page 13 is a regional facility, and we need 38.2. There's 15 of those, and you all will remember that we started this regional concept in '95, and the whole reason, and I'll be brief, Governor, was to give these jails, these counties, a decent jail. Let's take the county I'm from Holmes County, born and raised. They really couldn't lock nobody up, so we gave them a decent jail. 2, they can do it cheaper than we can at $29.74. And then 3, it kind of stimulated the local economy where we want to grill, not because obviously they brought meat and bread and milk locally. So you take Issaquah was the first one open in '97. You see the days, you see how many inmates we're keeping in them, and you see the rate. And that the rate, by the way, is by state statute, it's state law. You see my probation budget, and you see the cost. So as of today, it's 15 open, and on page 16, when you get over there, you'll see that Washington County, the only female region in the state, it was scheduled to open today. I had to put it back so it'll open tomorrow. So we'll save a little money on that day. It won't open to the boss or whatever that is. But anyway, the bottom line last year was $36.74, and so the cost per day was doing good. And if you talk to the regionals, the only thing they'll tell you is they would like to have some more inmates. That's the bottom line. What they'll tell you, they all want to be at capacity, and we all know why. On page 17 is your county jail. This 10.4, I want to bring that to everybody's attention as we go forward in 2012, because the reason we got to have it is what's so important. Is that's for housing 1,400 reimbursable state inmates. But I want to point out, that's why, Governor, I put this second bullet down here. Now, 1,100 of those inmates, the sheriff want to keep. Now, I could go move today. I'm proud to bring to you all, we have over 4,000 prison beds in the state. You won't have to build no more prison beds for a long time in this state. We got over 4,000. We got Camp 32 at Parks, 1,000 beds sitting empty. We maintain it though. We cutting the grass and we keep the maintenance up. But anyway, the point is that if we ever decided, Governor, to come completely on the gates, then I would need to move these 1,100s from the county jail. Now it'll be a political nightmare, but the bottom line is that the other 300 are newly sentenced. There's somebody getting sentenced in the state right now in some county jail out of the 76 we have. If you go to page 18, that's your capacity for your county jails. we estimate to keep 1,400. If we go below 1,000, I start getting phone calls. Chairman, by that, Sheriff Solid gonna call. And if you don't leave, when you leave, call him on the cell phone action. When he'll talk, get to a certain number, he gonna call the commissioner. And he good fellow, this you exactly. He ain't the only one. So the point is that 2050 Chairman Flag, that's simply is by statute 475-901 is $20 per inmate per day, and the average medical cost that we have to reimburse is 50 cents per inmate. So that's how you come up with the 10-4 on that deal right there. But it's down. Last year we had more newly sentenced inmates, but we able to get them in quicker now. You know, and I encourage the counties to get the paperwork in because the clock don't start until we get the paperwork. On page 19 is your medical. But a lot of conversation on medical. We need 47.9. At 2.3 is your Walnut Grove. We expect, y'all saw about in the media where we got sued Saturday over there. We feel like we can settle that real soon with that Walnut Grove. Some people would have you think we got a lot of young kids over there. Actually, we got 39 to 17 and under. Some of them convicted of capital murder, 6 to 7 on robbery. But we're gonna move all them out and we're gonna do some things. So Walnut Grove gonna be fine, and we're gonna change some laws this coming session with Walnut Grove. The next one is your 34.5. That's your medical for your whole support system for DOC, with the exception of the private prison I aforementioned. Your private prison does their own medical, except Walnut Grove. We got to do that one. And we pick it up after the 73rd hours of continued hospitalization. That's how that works. And then your 9.4, we do all our own specialty care, and we do our own hospitalization. Tell you why. If Senator Kirby called me and said that he not that you called Senator Kirby, but since we homeboys, you went by me usually all the time. If he called and said he needs somebody looked at, Wexford can't tell me they don't want to look at it. We do that ourselves, specialty care. So if he got a knot on his toe, we drive it. I don't have to talk to Wexford. Secondly, we are able to diagnose these inmates who was 133% positive, and those ladies who are pregnant, and we've been able to save close to $10 million through Medicaid. And so that's why your medical, you're going to find is one of the lowest costs in the country, and through our Medicaid. And we got all kind of, obviously prison is a culture, you know, it's a subculture of the state. So, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, we got 53 with cancer, 242 with AIDS, 45 HIV with AIDS, 19 kidney dialysis, 1,631 mentally ill, 409 hepatitis C, 417 over 60. We got one guy 89. So we got everything that society has. The medical budget on page 20 kind of breaks out how all that works. Anytime, back when I started as a correction officer in the early 80s, we could take an inmate who got sick and put him in the hospital. Nobody said a word. Now, if you put a convicted felon in the hospital, somebody got to stay with him. So when you see that, and I'm not against it, I'm just suggesting that time is brought about the change. When you see the line there where it says estimated hospitalization, and you see that $950,000 for security service calls, that's what that is. We have to make sure that well, where it really works, we stay with it, we Department of Corrections stay with it, and then by contract, who we contract with, they got so many hours to get somebody there to watch. Next page on 21 is our ag program. You know, these are special funds. We need 3.1 there. You know, a lot of people like to talk about ag, but as teachers work out this, we feed the inmate the food all over the state. We give some to Human Services locally. And the other thing on it is we still got the 30-some thousand chickens with the eggs. You know, I tell people all the time that we get in the dire straits in FY 14, 15, we may just sell the land. But right now we're going to farm. So we farm over 6,000 acres and we lease out 8,000 acres at roughly $7 an acre. Parole board. Parole board, 5-member board, we pay for the support staff, but this is for the board and the support, $742,953. This is the summary, ladies and gentlemen, on page 23. We asked for 339, total budget of 339.1. On page 24, you see in FY 2000, Chairman Stringer, I went for Michigan then, I should have been, but I wasn't. But there was some politics. But in FY 2000, you remember that. So in FY 2000, it was 4235, and here we are, you know, and these not EPS numbers, it's not the senior deputy numbers, these are pure numbers. And you see where FY 2010, 4127. And I would surmise that FY 11 won't be much different from that. So as long as I see that number going down, I feel pretty good. Because that's part of my report card. On page 25, you see our mission statement. And that's what we do every day. You know, we bring in a correction officer at age 18 with GED and a valid driver license, pay them $22,011.15 an hour, and they work hard from can to can. And I feel like, Governor and ladies and gentlemen of the committee, that we promote and provide public safety. And I really feel like that we teaching them as work ethics, and we provide education and substance abuse treatment, and that and other programs. I know we one of the lowest costs in the country. You can check, I can provide it to you. You won't find anybody close to it other than Louisiana and South Carolina. I know that we got one of the lowest recidivism rates in the country. The national average cost per day is $62.64. Again, we around $41. I know that we are providing, you know, treatment consistent with correctional principles. Why? Because everything is accredited: probation, parole, industry, central office, all your prisons, your boot camp program, everything is accredited just like any university in the state. And we got a great relationship with you all. We got a great relationship with the sheriff. We got a great relationship with the judges. And once in a while, a couple of DAs don't like if I put somebody on house arrest, but that's their job. We got a great relationship with them too. So I came today, and we came today to ask you for no increase on general fund and a decrease on special fund of $73,740, and we'll make you proud.
Representative Watson and then Chairman Stringer.
All right, thank you, Governor. Mr. Commissioner,
Yes,
this house arrest program, do you have figures to indicate the completion rate and the recidivism rate for house arrest?
Yes, sir. It's you know, it's a tough program, Chairman Watson. You and I have visited on it. You've been a lawyer. We talked about it. The courts, the one the juries put on, their recidivism rate over a 3-year period and 4-year period, it's the same actually, is 64%. You know, that's successfully completed. And the Department of Correction is 62%. That, you know, I can place in me and my committee, and I don't delegate that. I chair that myself. So the recidivism rate, when you look at it on the national average, it's good.
Okay, but you answered most of my second question was, you said it's a tough program. You actually in jail, but you're at home. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are. The answer is yes, sir. You're correct. We control how you go about it and how you do your business.
Does this mean that you can't you can't go out to your backyard or your front yard? You can actually control that person right within the house or the apartment?
Yes, sir. We can know when you go from one room to another.
Okay.
And for example, if somebody was on house arrest in this building, we got a drive-by gun where we drive by the building. If your serial number don't light up, you're not in here. And so we got all kind of, you know, little tricks and trades. We don't tell the country, but you know, because they'll know much as we know. But You know, think about this, imagine. You never know when we're coming. You never know when we're going to drug test. You never know when we're going to do analysis. We tell you when to go to Walmart and when not to go. So, it's better than being impartial, yes. But it's going to always be a tough road as long as I'm commissioner.
Okay, but you're permitted to go to work.
Yes.
And you are permitted a limited amount of time to do some shopping.
After 3 months of being on the program.